Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everybody. If anyone's there, please say hi in the chat so I know that you're here. And today we're going to be doing an IELTS live lesson number 2, and we're going to be doing a quiz. So please answer in the chat box if you know the answers. And please introduce yourself if you're here. Hi, Nung. How are you? Good to see you. Good evening. And how's your week been so far, Nung? Oh, hi, Nung. Nung Win, how are you? Good evening. Nice to see you. How are you guys both from Vietnam? Just say in the chat so I can see if you're here. I am actually in Hanoi, Vietnam at the moment. I've just finished work. I was working at a school today teaching IELTS, and we have 2 more days of work, and then we have a TET party on Friday, so fewer lessons. And then after that, I'm off to the Philippines for a week for TET for our holiday. So I don't know if any of you have been there. If you have any recommendations, just let me know in the chat. So we're going to get started in about 5 minutes on the quiz. Make sure to put your answers into the chat box, and we'll see. Try and keep your own score. See how many you can get out of 40 questions. And while you're doing the quiz, you will learn a lot about the IELTS exam. There's some tips in there. There's vocabulary, and you can even practice saying them to yourself to help your pronunciation. So we'll get started at 7:05. So in 2 minutes. So in 2 minutes, we will start the quiz. And guys in the chat, what have you been up to today? Have you done anything fun? Do you have any plans for the holiday coming up next week? Let me know in the chat. Last time I went to the Philippines was about 1 year ago, and I went scuba diving with whale sharks, and it was one of the best things I've done. Also, it's good in IELTS if you can think about memorable trips that you've taken, because they often come up in IELTS Speaking Part 2. It's also good to have a lot of things to talk about during the IELTS Speaking test, especially if they're true and you can make a good conversation with the invigilator about it. All right, we're going to be starting in less than 1 minute, so get ready for putting your answers in the chat. All of the questions are multiple choice, so just press A, B, or C in the chat and see how well you do. We'll also be giving out the QR code for the new online course where you can be with me twice a week in a 2-way conversation, and I will help you passing the IELTS speaking test. All right, let's get started with the quiz. So question 1, we're going to start with general questions. What does IELTS stand for? Is it A, International English Language Training System, B, International English Language Testing System, or C, International Exam for Language Training? Answers in the chat box, A, B, or C. Obviously, we're going to start very easy. The questions will get more difficult, and there will be more tips, vocabulary, definitions. and help to get your IELTS test sorted out. So please answer in the chat box A, B, or C. You have 10 seconds to answer the question. 5 seconds. What does IELTS stand for? IELTS is an acronym. Layla doesn't know, but she has used an acronym, OMG. What does OMG stand for? Does anyone know that one? OMG. Nung Hong, B. What's your guess? Any other guesses in the chat? Lelia, you can just guess A, B, or C if you like. Okay. C, Nung Win. Thank you. So we have a B and a C. All right. The answer is B, International English Language Testing System. So well done to Nung Hong, who got the correct answer. Well done. All right. So that is what we're going to be studying. And we're going to be looking at the International English Language Testing System, which is difficult to say. So that's why we say IELTS. All right. How many sections are in the IELTS test? Is it 3, 4, or 5? A, 3, B, 4, or C, 5? Please answers in the chat box. It's always good to practice multiple choice questions because there are multiple choice questions in the IELTS test, particularly in the reading and the listening parts of the test. So it's good practice to have a go. All right, answers in the chat. I'll tell you one of them is reading, one of them is writing, and is there 1 more, 2 more, or 3 more sections? Answers in the chat. Lilia 4 has gone for B. Nung Hong, Nung Wen, what do you think? We've got 10 seconds. We'll reveal the answer. I mean, it makes sense that there would be 4 bonus points if you can guess what they are. I've already given you 2. 3, 2, 1. Good. The answer is B4. B4. Good. Well done. All right. Next question. What are the 2 types of IELTS tests? There are 2 different versions you can take. Is it A, general and business, B, general and academic, or C, academic and professional? So 2 types of IELTS test. In our online course that you can access by scanning the QR code, we only do 1 of these. We only do 1 type of IELTS test. And I'll give you a clue. We do the academic version of the IELTS test. So is it academic and professional or academic and general? Nung Hong's gone for C. We'll reveal the answer in 6 seconds. 6 seconds. So have a guess if you don't know the answer. All right, the answer is B, general and academic. They're very similar. But general is for people who want to get a visa for England or America or Australia or New Zealand or South Africa. And academic is more for people who want to get into universities in those countries. So that's the main difference. The main difference being general for visas, academic for going to university. All right, question 3. How long is the IELTS speaking test? That's in total, so part 1, part 2, and part 3 together. How long should you be in the IELTS speaking test? A, 8 to 10 minutes, B, 11 to 14 minutes, or C, 15 to 18 minutes. And again, this is all 3 parts of the test together. Answers in the chat. I mean, we generally know that part 2 is 3 minutes, and part 1 is 4 to 5 minutes, and part 3 is 4 to 5 minutes. So any of you that can do quick maths, even though it's an English course, will sometimes do some arithmetic questions. And arithmetic is a good synonym for mathematics because we often use synonyms and paraphrasing. And the more you know, the better you'll do at your IELTS test. Very quiet in the chat today. I don't know how many people are here. I guess there's 4 at least, but I can't see the number. All right, 3 seconds. Have a go. A, B, or C. How long is the IELTS speaking test? 3, 2, 1. The answer is B, 11 to 14 minutes. That's 4 to 5 minutes for part 1, 3 minutes for part 2, and 4 to 5 minutes for part 3. All right, next question. What is the total duration of the IELTS test? So that's reading, writing, speaking, and listening all together. Is it 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours and 45 minutes, or C, 3 hours? All of it seems like quite a long test. Luckily, you don't have to do them one after the other. You can do one on Monday, another one on Tuesday, speaking on Wednesday, and listening on Thursday. Although sometimes it is better just to get it all out of the way. Nung Win has gone for A. Nung Hong gone for A. Well done. Got 12 seconds left till we reveal the answer. Vuyen has gone for B as well. Oh no, 2 different answers there. Good. All right, 3, 2, 1. The answer is B. Well done, Vuyen. 2 hours and 45 minutes. So that is 1 hour for reading, 1 hour for writing, 30 minutes for listening, and 15 minutes-ish for speaking. And then there's time in between. All right, let's talk about the listening test, the one that is the most difficult, in my opinion, the one that is the hardest to concentrate and the hardest to prepare for. So first of all, how many sections are there in the listening test? How many different audio recordings will you listen to? Is it 3, 4, or 5? A for 3, B for 4, C for 5. Answers in the chat. We've got 15 seconds. Five seconds. Nung Hong has gone for B. 3, 2, 1. The answer is B, 4. Well done, Nung Hong. You're on a roll. You've got the last couple correct. Well done. Okay, well done, Nung Win. Also correct. All right, next part of the listening test. How many questions are there in the listening test? How many questions are there? How many marks are available? Is it A, 30, B, 40, or C, 50? Seems like a lot, as soon as it's only 30 minutes long. A, 30, B, 40, or C, 50. Answers in the chat box. Maybe you'll win a prize. There is 4 seconds left. 3, if you're here and forgot, no problem. You'll soon know. 2, 1. The answer is B, 40. So you get a mark out of 40 for the listening test. And to get a band 9, you need to get 38 out of 40, which is a lot. So make sure you don't daydream like I did and forget to answer the questions. Oh, I've already told you this answer. How much time do you have for the listening test? Is it 30 minutes plus 10 minutes to transfer answers, 40 minutes, or 50 minutes? How much time do you have to complete the listening test? 30 minutes plus 10 to transfer answers, 40 minutes, or 50 minutes? Again, the listening test, definitely the most difficult. When I did my IELTS, I only got an 8.5 because I got a 7.5 in the listening test, because I got a 9 in the speaking, 9 in the reading, 9 in the writing, and then a 7.5 in the listening, because when I was listening to the answers, I started daydreaming and I missed the question. I missed part of the test, so I missed about 5 different questions. And you only get to listen once, so I couldn't go back. All right, the answer is A, 30 minutes. The test lasts for 30 minutes. And then, so when you get 30 minutes, you should write on your question paper. And then at the end, you get 10 minutes and you transfer A, B, C, or D, or the letter onto your answer sheet. All right, well done, Nung. Okay, what type of recording is played in listening section 1? Is it A, a monologue about a general topic, B, a conversation between 2 people, or C, a lecture? So a monologue is just one person talking. So one person talking out loud. B, a conversation between 2 people. And C, a lecture. Teacher, do you have a recommendation book for a beginner? Yes, I do. Hold on one second. I'll go and grab it and show you. One sec. Okay, Lilia, this one is my favorite one for beginners, The Complete IELTS by Cambridge English. Very good. Inside it has vocabulary lists. It's got reading practice, and it has all different units on healthy life that all will help your vocabulary. That's Complete IELTS. It's my favorite one. It's what I use with my students. And then if you start getting better, it's IELTS, Mindset for IELTS. So this is also by Cambridge, but this one is more for intermediate students. So Mindset for IELTS if you're good, and for a beginner, Complete IELTS. All right, Nung has gone for A. Let's have a look at the answer. It is a conversation between two people. The second one is usually a group of people, and the third one is usually an academic lecture or a speech. All right. Next question. Can you replay the audio in the listening test? A, yes, B, no, or C, only for specific sections. So can you ask for the audio to be replayed? A, yes, B, no, or C, only for specific reasons. Vivienne's gone for B, no. Nung Hong, I think no. Yeah, good. This is, again, I think this is a bit evil from the IELTS because in the IB, in the English IB, you get to listen to each section twice. And in the IELTS, yeah, the answer is no, which is very harsh because, like I told you, even when I did it, I missed a few questions and I wished I could go back and listen again. But they are harsh, cruel almost. In fact, maybe we should stop. Maybe we should boycott the IELTS test until they let us listen twice. But that's the way it is. You cannot replay the audio. All right, let's move on to the reading test. The reading test. How many passages are there in the academic reading test? Passages are just parts of text that you have to read, and then there'll be some questions about them. So how many passages are there in the academic reading test? Answers in the chat. I'll show you what a reading text looks like. It'll be something like this. Okay, so you'll see the one text will look like that, and you'll have 12 to 15 questions about it, and that is one passage. So how many passages are there in the reading test? Okay, Nung Win has gone for 4. Nung Hong has gone for 4 as well. I'll give the answer in 8 seconds. Anybody else like to have a guess? Three, two, one. The answer is B, 3. One good tip for the reading test, because there are 3 of them. There are 3 different sections. The first one is the easiest one. So try and spend 15 minutes on that one. The second one's the middle level. So spend 20 minutes on that one. And then the last one is the most difficult. So it's always good to have about 25 minutes left for the last passage. All right. Oh, just giving you away the answer. How long do you have for the reading test? How long do you have for the reading test? Is it A, 50 minutes, B, 60 minutes, or C, 70 minutes? We're going for A, 50 minutes. And the answer in 5 seconds for the reading test. Also a very difficult part of the IELTS. So it's always good to practice reading. The best thing to do this, answer 60 minutes. You have 1 hour exactly. The way to practice for the reading test is to read as much as you can. You can use ChatGPT and say to it, hey, ChatGPT, can you give me an IELTS reading test where you give me 3 passages and give me 10 questions for each one? And then test me on the answers. So you can actually get ChatGPT to be your tutor. All right. How many questions are in the reading test? How many questions are in the reading test? Is it A, 30, B, 35, or C, 40? How many questions are in the IELTS reading test? And after the answer, I'll tell you how many you need to get a band 9 and how many you need to get a band 7. So answers in the chat. How many questions are in the IELTS reading test? How many questions are in the IELTS reading test? 30, 35, or 40? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, the answer is 40. And to get a band 9 in the reading, you need to have at least 38 out of 40. It's almost impossible to get band 9s because you can only get 1 or 2 wrong. So it's very difficult. So you have to make sure you study, make sure your comprehension is good. And the best way to get better at reading comprehension is to read. And again, ChatGPT is your friend. Use it. All right, next question. Are true, false, not given questions common in the reading test? Yes, B, no, or C, only in general training. So remember earlier on in the test, we said there was an academic IELTS and a general IELTS. So are true, false, not given questions common in the reading test? Yes, no, or only in the general training? Answers in the chat box, please. Once again, remember the general training is for generally people traveling overseas needing visas or to live somewhere, and the academic is usually for university, if you want to get into an English-speaking university. So are true, false, not given questions common in the reading test? Yes, no, or only in general training? 6 seconds. And the answer is yes. Yes, they are very common. They're usually in each one, and they are very, very difficult to answer. A lot of my students, they will always get mixed up between false and not given. So, so in our online course, we will look at how to, well, actually there's videos on YouTube. If you go onto my channel, type in true, false, not given, and you'll find a video explaining how to tell the difference between false and not given. All right. How is the general reading test different from the academic reading test? So is it A, it is shorter, B, it contains simpler passages, or C, it includes a graph description? Which one do you think? How is the general training reading test different from the academic reading test? Nung Hong B, Nung Win B. Good. Three seconds. Good. The answer is B. Well done, Nung Hong and Nung Wing. It contains simpler passages because the writing test is different in general and academic, because academic includes a graph, whereas the general is usually writing a letter. All right, next one. Let's move on now to the writing test. The writing test. So, how many tasks are there in the writing test? Is it A1, B2, or C3? I'm going for 3. And we're going for C as well. Good. All right, let's see. 5 seconds. See the answer. The answer is B2. That is the writing task 1, which is about describing a graph or a map or a pie chart or a process. And then there is part 2, which is usually a discursive essay or an advantages, disadvantage essay. All right, well done. So, writing task again, let's see. What is the word limit for writing task 1? Is it A, 100 words, B, 150 words, or C, 200 words? What is the word limit for writing task 1? There are many videos on my channel to help you with writing task 1. In fact, there's a 25-minute long one that covers the whole process. So what is the word limit? When B, 150 words. Well done. 12 seconds and we'll give the answer. Hong 100. Gone for A. All right, the answer is B, 150 words. 150 words. Well done to Nung Wen. Got it correct. All right, what is the word limit for writing task 2? It's a little bit longer, this one. Is it 200 words, 250 words, or 300 words? All right, that is the end of part 1 of the quiz, and we will do the second half later in the week or maybe next week. All right, it was good to see everybody. I hope you can sign up for the course. There's a link in the description, and hope you all have a good evening, and I hope you learned something today. All right. Bye, everyone.